a lot of guys will make fun of weaker men and call them soy, like, soy boy or something like that. And then they'll always have their vegan counterparts come in and try to defend soy with all kinds of narratives and stories about how it's not bad for you. But throughout your entire book, you talk about soy in quite great lengths, right? So what is the sum of all these parts when it comes to soy? Like, is soy good or bad for men?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, what's funny about soy, every scientist agrees it acts like estrogen. So you at least have to start the conversation there, because even the vegans that say it's good for you, they admit it acts like estrogen. So, that alone for most men is enough to say, okay, I don't want to have more soy in my food. And by the way,
the arguments that they tend to push a lot of is like, you'd have to eat like buckets of soy to convert that much estrogen in your body for it to be harmful. Is it really that much, or is it like,
no.
If I have sushi, if I put soy, like if I dip my maki rolls into soy sauce, is that bad enough to disrupt my endocrine system for that day?
Good question. Yeah. So in Canada, ironically, they did a food study with over 100 food items, plant foods, and all of the plants were under 1,000 units of estrogen, except soy and flax. Soy and flax were over 100,000 units of estrogen. So it was like a night and day difference between soy and flax and everything else. And what was cool about that study, they tested soy sauce. So they tested natto and all these different, naturally fermented soy products. All of those were under 100 units of estrogen. So the actual soy, 100,000, even soy protein was in the thousands, right? Like a lot of the soy products. But as soon as you include natural fermentation, those microorganisms chew up all those estrogens. And it depends a lot on your gut health. So if you've got a crappy gut, those soy estrogens are going to go into your bloodstream a lot more, have a lot bigger impact. If your gut's super healthy, your gut bacteria are probably going to break a lot of them down. It's pretty risky. And the other thing is, there's a more complicated argument a lot of vegans will propose at a scientific level, where there's actually, when you have testosterone in your body, there's only one receptor. It's called the androgen receptor. But with estrogen, there's actually two receptors that stick to it. Mm-hmm. And one's called estrogen receptor alpha, and the other one's called estrogen receptor beta, so alpha and beta. And everybody recognizes in the scientific community, alpha is pretty problematic. Alpha receptor increases breast cancer risk in women. It increases prostate cancer in men. It's problematic. You don't want to be activating the alpha receptor. Beta receptor is actually protective in terms of estrogen. So estrogen has a lot of protective benefits to it. If you're activating the beta receptor, it's protective against prostate cancer. It's protective against breast cancer and a lot of other things. So the argument most vegans like to propose is that the soy activates the beta receptor. And they, Dr. Michael Greger, a big, YouTube star within the vegan community, he's the big proponent of this argument. And he cites a study that I've looked at. And he said, look at figure 1 in this paper. It shows beta activation and only a little bit of alpha with soy. Mm-hmm. What's ironic about that paper is figure 2 shows the exact opposite in a different person. So it's very person dependent. Again, way too risky. Okay. And, I didn't get into that much. I didn't get into the weeds that much in my book. I tried to make it real easy for anybody to read. But
yeah,
if you're really honest with yourself and you really dig into the science, I mean, soy is estrogenic. It's something people should avoid.
Yeah, and so is flaxseed oil, which is something I used to routinely blend into my protein shakes for a long time. Right. I learned flaxseed was estrogenic about 2 years ago, so I took that out of my diet. Soy has obviously been out of my diet for a long time because I knew that was garbage. But there's still a lot of soy products out there, and it's infused in a lot of foods. I mean, it's a filler in a lot of foods. I mean, you even mentioned in the book, if you buy something that's labeled vegetable oil, 30% of it could be soy, right? Because soy is a vegetable. So soy is something that all men should skip. Like, is that what you're saying, or?
Correct. Unless it's fermented. Soy sauce, fine. Put a ton of it on your food.
Okay, so fermented is fine. So sushi's good. You're good with your sushi. You can, awesome. Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. I'm glad I don't have to move away from my sushi place, man, because I got this great boutique joint that does some good work.
All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.